What's up, everybody? It's your boy Law Cannon, and we are back with another killer recipe. This time, I'm showing you guys how to make a restaurant surf and turf, some delicious jumbo lump crab cakes, and a pan-seared ribeye steak. You can pair with whatever size you have at the crib. If you want to do some whipped potatoes, asparagus, that's what I did, some macaroni and cheese, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to show you guys how to make the perfect surf and turf. So let's get right into it. So first off, you want to start with your crab meat, no imitation. Do not use imitation crab meat, that should be banned and illegal. But we are making crab cakes, so of course we have our lump crab. Next, after you add your 2 cans of lump crab, add in that Old Bay seasoning. With these crab cakes, a lot of seasoning is not required because you want to make sure that your crab is the highlight, is the showstopper, is the main event. So I add in about 2 tablespoons of Old Bay, and I'm going to mix this in. And I'm not going to be too rough with this crab. You do not want to make it beyond shredded. You still want to leave it that lump substance. So yeah, and grab your 1 egg, boom, drop that in there. Mix that 1 egg into there. We're not going to add too many binders, not too many eggs, because again, your crab is going to be your showstopper. So add in your 1 egg and mix that around thoroughly. Now this is my secret to making my crab cakes. I like the Ritz garlic butter crackers. I'm going to take about 10 of those, crush those up in my hand. Make sure you guys wash your hands. It's COVID anyway. You need to wash your hands when you do anything with food or in life or in general. But mix those 10 Ritz crackers up into this crab mixture. Again, do not be too rough. You just want to make sure everything is well integrated, but you do not want to make sure this isn't a blender. Okay, guys? Just make sure everything is well integrated. Of course, to give it that nice, bold, delicious flavor of these crab cakes, you want to add in your Worcester sauce, Worcestershire sauce, W sauce. Everybody, I know, we all get this word wrong. I think it's Worcester sauce. Whatever though, you want to add in about 1 to 2 tablespoons of Worcester sauce and give this a good mixing. Now, to make sure everything is really sticking together the perfect way, do not add a lot of this, guys. You just need about 2 squishes, or I say about a very nice tablespoon of mayo. We're gonna mix everything up, and boom, that's all you add to these crab cakes, y'all. We ain't gonna add too much. That's not too less. We ain't gonna add no extra peppers. These are the perfect restaurant crab cakes. Just trust me. Have I stir dry wrong yet? Don't answer that, but trust me. Now, to dress these crab cakes up, we do want to add in some fresh parsley. Of course, parsley doesn't really have a taste. It's just going to add that really nice green pop on that plate. Add your fresh parsley in. Fresh, you do not have to buy the dry kind. You can just buy some regular parsley, chop it up. And now we are going to make our crab cake balls. This is just easy. You're just taking your crab cake, rolling it into a nice sized little ball, and boom, be gentle with it. Put it either on parchment paper or a nice pan that is like non-stick or something. Anything that just makes sure that these crab cakes don't stick. And after you make your balls, you want to place them in the fridge for about 30 to 35 minutes. Let them, gather up, toughen up, get thick, and boom. We are about to put these away in the fridge, and let's marinate our steak. Now for our steak, I am using 1 New York strip for the lady of the house, the missus, and I will be having a ribeye because y'all know I love ribeyes. But the first thing with your steaks, I'm going to give you guys the key to making some delicious steaks, and I'm willing to die on this hill. You want to dry your steaks and make sure they are room temperature. That's going to help, like when you cook your steak, you want that really nice sear, that really nice crust. You don't want your steaks just looking all gray, sad, and seasoned. You want them to have that really nice crust. So dry your steaks completely and make sure they are at room temperature. Now, when it comes to steak, seasoning is everything. Seasoning and the way you cook it. So I am using Urban Accents Chicago Steak and Chop seasoning. I love using this seasoning. It's like a good mixture of peppers, good mixture of salt and garlic, but it's not too much. Like, trust me, this is that steakhouse. It's, I can't even talk. Just trust me, guys. Season both sides of your steak. You want to press those seasonings directly into the meat, and then we're going to let that sit for maybe about 2 to 10 minutes. You do not need to let your steaks marinate for a long time, guys. You do not. But after they are marinated in that season, you want to take some olive oil, put it in your cast iron skillet, bring it to a nice heating smoking point, and boom, drop that steak in that pan. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that sizzle? That's how you know you're doing something right. If your pan does not sizzle when you add that steak, your pan was not hot enough and you will not get that beautiful crust. But after you have your steak cooking for about, I'll say about 2 to 3 minutes, because they only need to cook for 4 to 5 minutes on each side to get a really nice medium steak. And this is cooked on high heat. But about a couple minutes in, you want to add in some butter, some really good butter, not margarine. You want to add in some butter. And then about 5 to 6 minutes, you want to get a really nice flip, and look at that crust. Look at that crust, y'all. Like, are you in a steakhouse or are you at home? Look at that crust. After your steak is cooking in that nice butter and your oil, you do want to add in some fresh herbs. This is going to give that steak that body and that flavor profile that you only find in steakhouses. So I am adding in fresh garlic, rosemary, and thyme. And I'm going to add butter on the side of this as well. So as I scoop the butter and oil mixture that's on the side of the pan, it's going to give that steak them flavors that are unmatched. Now, boom, this steak has cooked. This steak is perfect now. Look, just look at that, smell that. But you can now take your steak out of this skillet, put it in aluminum foil, or put it in the oven. Let this cook low, because your steak is going to finish on its own. When you remove steak, it still continues to cook. So you do want to remove this steak, set it aside, and let's begin to make our crab cakes. Now you want to take a skillet. I'm using another cast iron skillet, and you want to add some vegetable oil or frying oil, enough to cover the bottom and create a small little pool of oil. Bring it to medium heat. Once you see that your skillet is ready and popping, now you can add in your crab cakes. Now with your crab cakes, you do want to be extremely careful, because we did not add a lot of fillers to our crab cakes, so they will break easily if mishandled. So add your crab cakes to this skillet. You can press them down a little bit, but not too much, because you do want them to keep that really nice shape. And after about 2 to 3 minutes, you can flip. Look at that. Look at that perfect brown. Oh my God. But you can now flip. Be very careful again, because these will break if mishandled. Like, this looks amazing. I'm watching this with y'all. Let me go back to being a narrator. Okay, so now you can add in a few sticks, small sticks of butter or fourths of butter, and take the butter and spoon it on top of these crab cakes. And we're not done yet though, y'all. So preheat your oven now to 350, because after we pour the butter on top of these crab cakes and have them cook for another 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to take this entire skillet, pop it in the oven, and let them finish in the oven to make sure they are thoroughly cooked. Now look at those crab cakes in the oven cooking, y'all. We pretty much done now. You just want to let these cook for about 10 minutes at the most. Remove these, drain them with a paper towel to remove the excess grease, and look at this crab cake. Flaky, perfect, juicy. You just made a restaurant style crab cake. Now you can take your sides. You can add in mashed potatoes, asparagus, macaroni and cheese, lobster mac. It does not matter. Follow any of my other recipes at the side. But look at this plate. Your steak, your crab cake. I made whipped potatoes, asparagus, cooked the lemon for a little extra garnish. But look at this plate, guys. This is restaurant quality. This is what you subscribe to my YouTube for right here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Make sure you like this video, share. If you recreate this, tag me on Instagram. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will try to drop some more content very, very soon. All right, we out of here.